you doing? This is Zach Allen. We're going to talk today about my favorite swing trainer, right? It's one that I keep going back to. It's one that consistently helps my students day in and day out. And it's something that I know can simply help a lot of you out there, okay? But before we do that, if you like my content and I've helped your swing and I've helped your game, I've even helped you hit some better shots, don't forget to like and subscribe just to help support me. And if you're interested in getting some more content that's not on YouTube, you can go down below in the description. There's an email list that you can sign up for, and I'll send you tips every week. Okay, so it works in two ways, right? This is what's called the golf hanger. This is one that you can purchase. You can simply just do this too, and just make your own hanger, right? I've just got a plastic coat hanger, set it on the top of my grip it. I've had students tape it down. You really don't necessarily need to, okay? But right away, this is going to give you a great awareness of the club face, and where you might be missing out on some really important positions. Okay, so, the number one cause of bad shots typically in golf is, for me, a right-handed golfer, is an open club face and a ball that's curving to the right. Okay, and that's what this really isolates so well. It's going to teach you how to consistently square the face and deliver a square face through the impact area. And that's something I want to kind of start and talk about, because there's a lot of misperceptions on how exactly we release the club, okay? So if you look at this hanger, right, if I do this correctly, it's going to stay up against my lead arm the entire time, okay? And I know you're sitting there looking like, okay, that's not, you need to put a hanger on and you need to feel it, because 9 people out of 10, okay, that do this, they don't do it right. Even good players like single-digit handicaps, they're not exactly releasing the club correctly. I see a lot of this, right? You notice here that my right hand turned over the left, but the hanger's touching my right forearm. It's not touching my lead arm, okay? So what's happening here is what's called supination, right? Left arm supination is just my left arm turning this way. And that's what these swing contraptions are so good at getting us to feel. That's really important in delivering a club that's square, maybe even de-lofted, getting the ball to turn over from right to left, okay? And also just in general, just delivering less dynamic lofted impact. So what you'll do when you grab it, okay, you notice the hanger's not starting on either one of my arms, but pretty quickly when I get into my backswing, I feel it get up onto my lead arm, okay? And that tells me that the face is square. If it was like this, I just rolled the face open. And something that's really important to remember, because I know you guys are looking in the camera, well, what's the big deal? If it's a little open, I'll square it up at the bottom. Okay, so 360 degrees is here, right? 90 degrees is here, 45 degrees open is here. I hit on a launch monitor all day long with myself and my students. If you're just 5 degrees open, you're gonna hit a shot that goes way off to the right. And obviously with an open club face, you're going to add loft. So now your 8-iron's a 9-iron, maybe it's even a pitching wedge if you do it enough. So just to show you right here, this is about 6 degrees. Literally that right there is going to make your driver slice probably 30 to 40 yards, and it's going to make you lose a club. It's going to make the ball go off high and leak off to the right. So that feels like you. Definitely get yourself a hanger and start to train like this. Okay, so here I am. It's not touching my arms. As soon as I start to move back, I feel it touch my lead forearm, okay? As I move that up to the top, it stays on my lead arm, okay? As I get down into the impact area, you'll notice how it's still on my lead arm, okay? Most of the golfers that I teach, if they're suffering with a little bit of a weak fade or maybe even a slice, they're out here. So you notice how this face gets onto my right arm, okay? If you ever look at great players, when they come into impact, the club head is always behind their hands and the face is turning down towards the ground more. You see how I'm forcing this hanger more into my lead arm? I almost feel like I could break it there. That's exactly where we're squaring the face early. Okay? Taking that, bringing that into impact, and now I'm learning, look at how much I'm affecting the loft as I press that hanger into my lead arm. Look at how much that's changing the loft. But that looks like a 6-iron instead of a 9-iron, okay? That's why you see some great ball strikers like Jordan Spieth and Ben Hogan. You'll see this bow in their left wrist, and you'll see sometimes even a little bend in their left arm. Bryson DeChambeau, they do not look like this. Most people think that's a fine release, okay? And they might even hit the ball straight sometime, but it's gonna lack in some compression. It's gonna lack in a little bit of just ball flight authority, okay? So you've done some rehearsals with that hanger on, and you can hit balls with the regular coat hanger, you can hit balls with this one. So I'm gonna start to get some feelings of just that release, and you notice how just if I do it really slowly, it consistently puts pressure up against my lead arm, and there's quite a bit. It doesn't leave it for one instant, okay? For those of you too that think, okay, well, I actually don't want to turn the club through the ball, we are turning the club this way. So as I get into it, my hands are in front and I'm de-lofting the club this way as I move through to my finish. I'm not turning the club with the handle pointed backwards. That's what most of you are doing, and you're trying to get rid of that. So what ends up happening, a lot of people go, okay, I'm going to stop doing this, and they start doing more of this. But you notice how the hanger is still not in the right spot and the face is still open. So we really want to feel this supination, right? So we'll start to hit some shots, and I've got a 9-iron here. The loft of a regular 9-iron is 43 degrees. I'm going to take a look at my dynamic loft down there. I'm not going to hit it that hard, but I'm going to see just how much I can de-loft it with the feeling of this hanger up against my lead arm. Half swing. Okay, so I delivered 35.7 degrees of loft. That was de-lofted by, you know, just roughly around 8 degrees from what standard loft of this club is. And that ball went 139 yards, okay? So I wouldn't normally hit a 9-iron to that extreme, but it's good to practice like this because I'm just like you. When I start getting into trouble, I start doing this. I start allowing the club to release. Notice it moves up to my right arm. That club is open and it's kind of a weak slappy motion, and I start to lose a club, a half a club, and the ball doesn't sound as pure. Okay, so let's do one more. I'm going to hit it maybe not as hard, but I'm going to see if I can de-loft it more than that 35, just with that same feeling of pressing that hanger against my arm. That felt good. That was 139.1. And the dynamic loft, right, which is the loft of the club at impact, it went from static, it's 43, it went all the way down to 31. Okay? It's a great trait to have, right? So grab a hanger out of your closet, put it on your club, start getting a better sensation of what a square face feels like and what a square delivery feels like. Okay? And like I said, it's not enough just to look at it and watch the video. Go out there and grab it and actually do it. That's really what's going to end up allowing you to hit the best shots. I hope that helps. Feel free to hit that subscribe button or that like button if you're thinking this is going to help your game, or if it did help your game. But then, like I said too, jump on that email list and start getting some emails from me every week. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week.